In parts 1 and 2, we created a criteria file and adjusted our ST summary analysis. Now let's look at the final output, report, and graphs. So we're just going to proceed to kind of show the final step here, whether or not this makes any sense. So we'll click Next, and now ST is going to generate some graphs for us as well. So it's kind of asking how we want to build the graph here. So now we're doing treatment fields for our labels on the x-axis. I'll just do the default here. Then our left title on the graph. What header fields do we want to include? So we're looking at rating type and unit. Maybe that makes the most sense to include. Do we want a right title? I'm just going to leave it blank. I don't think I need a right hand title. And so now it's generated that report. I'm just going to preview it here on the screen for us to kind of take a look at the final output that we get. So here's that main table that we saw with the grand mean column, with the mean, standard deviation, and counts, and then our individual trial columns as well. And so now we have those descriptive statistics for the grand mean and individual trials. And we also have our AOV table. So here we first have our ST8 analysis, our ST randomized complete block AOV for that grand mean column, and then the AOV table for each of the individual data columns as well. And then after that we have some graphs. So we have Box-whisker for the treatment means. And then you can compare that to the Box-whisker for your trial means across the treatments. So you can kind of compare the variation with each of those. Then the third graph is our treatment stability and the trial clusters. And that's a very neat tool with a lot of capabilities, probably better for a separate video to discuss exactly how to use it. But you can look up in the help. We have a help topic that kind of explains the pieces and maybe kind of how to use that to get some idea of your treatment and trial interaction that may be present in this this question that we posed, and how the treatments are impacted by the different trial locations. And so then we'll just close this, and again you can output that. Either you can print it right to a sheet of paper, or the same outputs for Excel, Word, or PDF. Excel is pretty nice with ST because you're not limited to the narrow sheet of paper to print on. It'll just kind of keep giving you more and more columns to the right. So it's a pretty nice format for ST when you end up with a lot of different columns to include. It ends up being pretty easy to work with compared to some of these other outputs that you end up with a whole bunch of pieces of paper that don't necessarily flow together. And then the one last note would be that we can then save this criteria file. And so it'd be just like saving a trial or a protocol file. We'll just go under the File menu and Save. And it's going to create a separate criteria. STC0 is the format here. And it's just a question. So save a bunch of these. So here, thinking about what we had done, it was our ST exam. Were really the treatments we were looking at, and we were looking at the control ratings. I like to make it kind of descriptive, so that way when I'm looking through the files, I can kind of see what I had done. What question was I posing here, compared to maybe if we tweak this and look at it a little bit differently and save it separately. That I can come back and load it back in pretty easily. I kind of know what it was I did, instead of having to open a bunch of different files and then kind of scanning the criteria to see what I had done. Maybe we note that we just took all pests together, or something like that.